Hey, welcome back to another episode of Confessions of a Spiritual Healer. This is Sai Healing, and thanks for coming back. Now, this video is going to talk about coming out of the wilderness. Now, so I've been listening to a lot of prophetic word and, God's messages, wherever they come from, they're going to come from there, whatever, right? But I really think that it probably has to do with that, one of the gurus in my lineage is Christian based. So, of course, he's going to be speaking through that avenue. And I have spent the last 5 years in the wilderness in a great struggle. But in Christian terminology, right, the path of the chosen one comes in 3 stages, right? You got the wilderness, you get the vision, right? You get the vision from God of what it is that is you are being called to do. And then you are sent to the wilderness where you are completely stripped, isolated, and then trained for the work that you're going to be doing. And then during that purification process, you gain new systems of what the lifestyle you're going to be, because you're going to step into purpose work, God's work, which is the fruit, the lifestyle he wants you to step into. And this is very reflective of the Sai Shakti tradition, because it practically is those steps, those exact steps. So where does the, where does the fruit come from, right? Where does the root come from? So I'm in a place where I'm coming out of the wilderness. The pressure is on because I'm profusely training, profusely doing all the works. And they say that one of the signs of knowing that you are very close to stepping into purpose work is that the negativity comes on harder, stronger, while you are really stepping in. The people who need your work, your sources start coming out of nowhere. Your life starts to completely change. You give up all things to God, which is very true. I think that there has been a huge financial block that I have in my life, and I really just hit the point where I recognized my money is not my money. My money is God's money, and God's going to decide when it's going to come in, when it's going to leave. Like, my money is not mine. I come into this world without money. I will leave this world without money. Like, that's pretty much the gist of that healing. And when I recognize that all things are provided to me by God, then suddenly there's no responsibility of needing to figure it out, needing to provide for myself, that God would. Now, that isn't to say that I'm some lazy mofo and I'm just sitting around waiting for God to provide for me. I'm doing the works and I'm struggling, but I'm also at the same time coming to a place of like full peace. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever God wants, God wants. And because I finally reached that point, I am recognizing I'm coming out of the wilderness. I am being called to perform, to do the purpose work. And it's a little bit of a scary thing. I think that while I was in the wilderness, right, I had this idea of what my life was supposed to be, or what kind of healer I was supposed to be. And because I was so caught up on that narrative of what it is that I'm supposed to, right, do, that was the reason why I postponed or, held on for so long with like my karmic blockages, my woundings, my healing. It just kind of prevented it because I was so stuck on the narrative, what it is that I'm supposed to be, what it is that I'm supposed to do. And none of that is true. You don't know what you want, okay, you guys? The only person who knows what you deserve or allowed to have or meant to do is God. And that isn't to say, in my other videos, I talk about changing your blueprint, right? That isn't to say that you don't have free will. You have a right You have every right to make the decision to choose his path or not. If you struggle, it is what it is. But if you just surrender, if you allow the things that are meant for you or what God wants for you, you can move forward with that path and be guided the way he wants you to. I know that it doesn't sound like spiritual sovereignty. I know that it doesn't sound like, the typical new age, personal empowerment. We decide, we get to do what we want. It's true, you get to decide. You can decide if you want his path or not. You can decide if you want to do something else, It's not something that's held against you. But if you want his guidance, if you want his protection, if you want him to take you on the journey of your life, then there's only one real answer, right? So I sound so Christian, right? It's not exactly a Christian channel, but the Sai Shakti tradition is from ancient India, and makes you wonder where the source of Christianity comes from when you learn more of the knowledge. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm just letting you know things are changing. Things are shifting for me, especially since it's the Fire Horse year. And it's not even like a confusing time for me. I'm not even thinking. I'm not even hung up on what's going on. God gave me a vision. I'm coming out of the wilderness because I've already set up systems of what he wants me to do. And that's all I've been doing is, taking care of myself, but mostly getting up, doing the work, eating, sleeping, getting up, doing the work, kind of like clockwork, the training. Remember, your training is always kind of the thing that they say to me. And we don't talk. He's just, exactly what I want you to do. And that's when you know. That's when you've come upon a higher level of the wilderness, right? And possibly transitioning out. Because I don't know. I mean, I do know. I do know. I think I'm starting to feel the fear of like, maybe I'm not prepared, but everything's happening, so God will decide. Right? This is just my my survival instinct and my nervous system just freaking out like, are you gonna do this? I've got all of this bright light here. It did not mean to sit right where the sun is hitting, but it's a nervous time because I think it's just been a long time coming, but I definitely see it on the quantum level where everything is happening simultaneously. And despite that I say I feel really nervous on this video and I'm stressing about it and stuff, but I don't feel like a paralyzing freak out. Like my nervous system isn't like super freaking out. My energy levels are very sane, and through the Sai Shakti tradition, right, you learn how to manage your energy, so it's very efficient. Right? As you absorb things, you decharge things, and that's your mechanism. And so I've really purified a lot of things, and so I'm just not as highly stimulated by life, which is probably the sign that I'm leaving the wilderness soon, which is it's exciting and it's like freaky at the same time. Because you've been training and you've been working hard and you've been doing the path of God and you've been observing what he's teaching you and how to react, and those last 5 years has been really hard. I just recently broke up with some friends of like 15 years, like freaking A. But I'm not gonna give up because already they already have me. My master already has me. My guru already has me. God already has me. I'm not going to do anything else. This is it. This is what I want. So, I don't know. I don't have a hook. I don't have a conclusion. I don't have a body. This is just me rambling. Confessions of a Spiritual Healer. If you're on the same path, I see you. If you want to work with me, that stuff is down below. So, take care. Bye for now.